It is March 19, 2026, and you are listening to The Stack. I am your host. Every day, we look at the breakthroughs that are redrawing the map of what we thought was possible. Today, we have a lineup that feels like a science fiction fever dream. A man surviving without lungs for 2 days, a precision-guided missile built for the price of a nice dinner, and the mathematical ghost that haunts almost every dataset on Earth. We are going from the bottom of the Antarctic ice sheet to the microscopic scaffolding of your own DNA. It is a big world, and it is getting stranger by the second. Let's get into it. There are bolts of lightning, 5 times hotter than the surface of the sun, that are triggered by a nanoscopic layer of dirt. For centuries, scientists have watched volcanic lightning, massive, dirty thunderstorms that erupt from ash clouds, and wondered why ash particles of the exact same material would trade electric charges just by rubbing together. Usually, you need 2 different materials to generate static. New research reveals the secret isn't the ash itself, but a layer of organic carbon molecules just a few atoms thick. When these identical ash particles collide, this mux breaks the symmetry, creating a charge imbalance that eventually snaps into a 30,000-degree bolt. This discovery is a huge deal for aviation, because those bolts are the fastest way for pilots to detect invisible, engine-killing ash plumes in real time. The Stack's take: we often look for the answers to massive planetary phenomena in the big variables, but it is often the microscopic impurities that actually run the show. There are tiny threads, 1/1000th the width of a human hair, that can do the job of massive industrial heating coils. Industrial heat is a monster. It consumes 20% of all global energy to do things like melt glass and pasteurize milk. For decades, we have used bulky metal filaments that act like giant toaster coils, but they are fragile and inefficient when they are sitting directly in a blast of hot gas. Researchers at Rice University have now proven that carbon nanotubes can replace those coils with nearly 99% efficiency. These threads are so strong they can be woven into fabrics, creating a high surface area heating mesh that gas can pass right through without breaking the components. That is a massive step toward electrifying heavy industry and moving away from burning fossil fuels just to get things hot. The Stack's take: this is the transistor moment for thermodynamics, where we replace large, hot, and fragile vacuum tube-style heaters with elegant carbon components that actually fit the scale of the problem. MIT physicists have figured out how to sharpen a blunt, light crayon until it can write on the head of a pin. The challenge was terahertz light waves that sit between microwaves and infrared. These waves are perfect for studying the quantum jiggling of electrons inside superconductors, but they are physically too large to see anything microscopic. They usually just wash over a sample like a tidal wave. The Met team managed to compress these waves by a factor of 100,000, squeezing them down to the nanometer scale. For the first time, we can actually see the synchronized dance of electrons that allows electricity to flow without friction. This isn't just a win for physics, it is the key to 6G and 7G wireless networks, which could carry 100 times more data than current Wi-Fi if we can finally learn to tune these vibrations. The Stack's take: we are finally moving from observing quantum effects to watching the actual mechanics of the engine, which is the prerequisite for building a truly frictionless digital world. If you roll a single die, the result is pure chaos. But if you sum up 100 dice, the result will always, inevitably, be a bell curve. This is the central limit theorem, a mathematical truth so powerful it feels like a magic trick of nature. Whether you are measuring the height of rainfall in your backyard or the guesses of people at a jelly bean jar, the data eventually settles into that same smooth, rounded hump. It is the reason we can have a field called statistics at all. It turns unimaginable randomness into striking predictability. Scientists use this to find order in everything from clinical trials to the evolution of galaxies. It is the math that allows us to speak with confidence about a world that is fundamentally unpredictable. The Stack's take: the bell curve is a beautiful tool for understanding the average, but our biggest societal risks live in the fat tails where the math breaks down. It is the outliers, not the averages, that truly change history. The 33-year-old man recently survived for 48 hours without lungs in his body. He was suffering from a flu-triggered infection so severe his lungs were literally melting, and he was too unstable for an immediate transplant. In a Hail Mary move, surgeons at Northwestern University removed both lungs entirely to stop the infection from spreading. They packed his chest cavity with surgical sponges soaked in antibiotics and hooked him up to an artificial lung system that oxygenated his blood outside his body. For 2 days, he was anatomically hollow, yet physiologically stable. When donor lungs finally arrived, His body was clean enough to accept them without the new tissue being instantly infected. 2 years later, he is living a normal life. The stacked take. This proves that untransplantables is a moving target, and as we get better at temporary mechanical life support, the window for saving the most terminal patients is beginning to swing wide open. A tech hobbyist just built a shoulder-mounted, precision-guided missile for $96. Using a 3D printer and off-the-shelf microprocessors like the ESP32, this creator built a prototype that includes assisted targeting and ballistic calculations. The missile even sets up its own local Wi-Fi network to talk to a control computer while in flight. For context, a military-grade Stinger missile costs about $480,000. While this DIY version hasn't been tested for military reliability, the engineering is sound. It highlights a massive shift in the balance of power. The technology required to build smart weaponry is now so cheap and accessible that the old methods of gatekeeping this tech, like degrading GPS signals, are effectively obsolete. The stack's take. We are entering an era of the democratization of lethality, where the barrier to entry for high-end tech is falling faster than our legal and security frameworks can possibly keep up with. 50,000 years before the first modern pharmacy, Neanderthals were already practicing industrial chemistry. We have known for a long time that Neanderthals used birch tar as a glue to keep spearheads on their wooden shafts. But new research suggests it was also their primary antiseptic. To make this tar, they had to master dry distillation, heating bark to 400 degrees Celsius in a strictly oxygen-free environment. This is the oldest known synthetic material in human history. By testing this ancient superglue against modern bacteria like Staph and E. coli, scientists found it is incredibly effective at preventing wound infections. It reframes our extinct cousins not as brutish scavengers, but as sophisticated chemists who knew exactly how to bioprospect their environment for medicine. The stack's take. This discovery validates thousands of years of indigenous knowledge, like that of the Mi'kmaq people, proving that primitive tech was often just highly optimized science that we are only now starting to quantify. Deep beneath the Pine Island Glacier in Antarctica, there is a hidden giant. Scientists recently discovered a buried mass of granite nearly 100 kilometers wide and 7 kilometers thick, that is thicker than the height of the Andes. They found it by investigating mysterious, bright pink boulders sitting atop black volcanic peaks on the surface. These Jurassic-era rocks were carried uphill from the base of the glacier when the ice was much thicker. But the real concern is that granite is naturally radioactive. It generates internal heat, and glaciologists are now worried this hidden giant is acting like a massive subterranean heating pad, warming the bottom of the glacier. Since Pine Island is the core holding back a significant portion of the West Antarctic ice sheet, this heat could accelerate sea level rise for coastal cities across the globe. The stack's take. The stability of our coastlines depends on a geological black box we are only just beginning to map. It is a reminder that the most consequential climate drivers are often hidden beneath the ice. The platypus was already the world's weirdest mammal. It lays eggs, has venomous spurs, and glows under ultraviolet light. Now, we have found out its hair is bird-like. In every other mammal, the pigment structures in hair are solid. But in the platypus, these structures, called melanosomes, are hollow. This is a trait previously seen only in birds, where the hollow shape allows feathers to scatter light and create brilliant, shimmering iridescence. Here is the kicker. The platypus doesn't use them for any visual flair. Despite having the biological engineering for a shiny metallic coat, the platypus remains a dull, matte brown. It is a mystery of convergent evolution. It is as if the platypus reinvented bird biology but forgot to use the best features. The stack's take. The platypus continues to be the ultimate reminder that evolution is not a straight line toward perfection, but a messy, wonderful workshop where parts are constantly being reused in ways we don't yet understand. We are on the verge of the next leap beyond mRNA vaccines, DNA Origami. While mRNA saved millions during the pandemic, it is fragile and requires extreme cold storage. Scientists at Harvard's Wyss Institute are now testing a platform called Dorivac. It uses a long strand of DNA folded into a precise, rigid 3D scaffold, like a microscopic shipping container. This origami's billboard displays viral markers in the exact geometric patterns that the immune system is most likely to recognize. The 40x fine because DNA is much more robust than mRNA, these vaccines could potentially be shipped at room temperature. This would solve the last-mile crisis that prevents high-tech vaccines from reaching rural clinics in developing nations where refrigeration is non-existent. The stack's take, moving from the soft architecture of mRNA to the rigid engineering of DNA origami, is the biological equivalent of switching from fabric-winged biplanes to modern aluminum airframes. It is about making a life-saving technology durable enough for the real world. That is the show for today. We have looked at everything from the ancient chemistry of Neanderthals to the future of DNA-based medicine. It is easy to feel overwhelmed by the pace of change. But remember, every one of these stories started with someone asking why or how, and refusing to accept that something was impossible. If you learned something today, share this with a friend who appreciates a bit of wonder. I am your host, and this has been The Stack. We will be back tomorrow to see what else the world has found. See you then.